And so Prince Eos's voyage into the wild blue yonder began. Over the next few years, the young man continued to travel on horseback to find and discover new worlds of possibility, which led him all over the place, to different countries, to different lands, and different cities and towns, meeting all sorts of people. However, there was one place in particular where everyone was rather skeptical to heading. It was the land known as Drakonisia. It was a land that can only be so far traveled by sea. And Prince Eios was destined to get there. And how he got there, we're going to see right now.
Ahoy there, traveler. Welcome to the Newport docks. I take it you're quite new to these parts, correct?
Why, yes I am. Thank you. This is quite the lovely ship you have. How much is it to go traveling across seas on it?
Well, it depends. If you're just traveling to any of the neighboring islands around these parts, that'll be around 3 coppers. If you're trying to make a voyage to a different country, that'll be around 5 to 10 silvers.
Well, this may be an odd destination, but my goal is to head to the land called Drakonisia.
I'm sorry, sir. But why on earth would you want to go there? That's far beyond the country boundaries.
I'm a global researcher. My goal is to travel the entire world to acquire the knowledge needed in order to be added to our yearly encyclopedia.
That's a very noble cause, sir. However, there are some things that you're better off not knowing or exploring into. Drakonisia is one of those places. Ever since the peace treaty years back, there's been pin-drop silence on the current status of the non-human nations. No contact whatsoever.
Which is all the more reason I need to get over there as soon as possible. I haven't told anyone else, but I was one of the few people who were with the priest king when he officially signed the treaty. My goal is to simply do a thorough census of the current status in those lands.
Well, I don't know. The whole voyage going there just seems a bit risky is all.
Believe me, I completely understand the risks involved with this process, which is why I would never ask such a request without any reasonable compensation. Tell me, how does 10 gold pieces sound for your cooperation?
Well, when put it that way, I believe we might just have a voyage available for Drakonisia. Just give me 3 days to get things ready, and we'll be good to go.
Yes, that's greatly appreciated. Thank you, sir. It's Keith and likewise.
And so time seemed to fly by as the pair waited and prepared to finally set sail off into the mysterious land of Drakonisia. The land supposedly ruled by the non-human tribes. This ought to be interesting.
I must say, Keith, this is quite the exquisite way to travel. You must certainly get a lot of clients for traveling trips, don't you?
Believe me, summer is the busiest time of the year for people to travel across seas. It's stressful at times, but it pays exceptionally well. Looking back, that's mostly how our families received income. Thanks to the amount of people willing to travel, the shipping industry has become a very lucrative business in these parts.
I'll say, with a ship like this, I'd go traveling all over the world. The layout makes me feel like going on a worldwide voyage.
You know, that wasn't the first time I heard someone say that. Multiple clients had the idea of going on a worldwide trip, when sailing on this ship. Who knows? I might just consider doing that myself. Well, that's quite the voyage if I do say so myself. If Eios was going to travel across seas, he was going to be doing it in style.
That's quite an interesting way to travel, Mr. Hernandez. I know that voyage didn't take a day. As nice as that ship was, it wasn't a cruise. Just imagine being out there at sea for weeks or even months.
Which is exactly they needed to overstock on both food and supplies for their voyage. What makes the voyage even more challenging is the fact that people during those times didn't have a GPS either. They relied on the winds, currents, and their compasses to guide the way.
Yeah, pirate ship voyages aren't for me.
Don't worry. The voyage wasn't nearly as long as you think it was. It says here that something both cosmic and completely otherworldly took place while traveling at sea.
Something both cosmic and otherworldly?
I must say, that was quite the predicament getting your crew out of that sticky situation with pirates. I'm quite curious, how did your crew manage to evade capture?
It was divine intervention that a foggy sea was nearby, so that how we lost them. That was quite the risky move, in hindsight. We almost got lost trying to lose the pirates. Which is why ever since that encounter, we always prepared in case of emergency.
My goodness, is a storm brewing in our midst?
That's strange. It was supposed to be clear this entire voyage. I'll go see outside. My word. It's definitely storming out here. Wait! What's that opening up ahead?
I don't believe it. I mean, can anyone believe this? It was a massive sea storm that has completely engulfed the ship while they were sailing in. I don't know how anybody could ever saw this coming. But even in the midst of the waves crashing and sending the ship shaking and rumbling, what seemed to be like a massive wormhole, like engulfed the entire ship, and I suppose probably the people there too, and it whisked them away. Of course, they were unconscious, and now they seem to be in a place, a wooded land, far from human civilization. I wonder where they could be at. It's not like we never heard any seafaring tales like this. It's like the most cliche thing that we ever hear about. Observe.
What happened? There was this massive typhoon earlier. The ship was submerged and then everything went black.
Well, I see you've finally regained consciousness. I was wondering if you were going to awake.
My goodness, it's you. You're one of the elven people. If that's true, then have we finally arrived to Drakonisia?
My, aren't you ever the chatterbox? Only a few moments awake, and you're already asking questions. My name is Serafina, and yes, this is indeed Drakonisia. However, I'm not a member of the elven tribes. I'm the first princess of the Draconian Empire. It's a pleasure to meet you, weary traveler.
Wait, the first princess of the Draconian Empire?
The one and only. I'm surprised you haven't heard of me. However, judging from your attire and your regal appearance, you don't seem to resemble any of the other neighboring tribes. Where are you from?
Well, I'm the second prince of the Nation of Light, Prince Eios. However, under my brother's rulership, the country has been renamed to Eldora. I'm here as a traveler for knowledge. From the stories I've heard, this is the most mysterious place to travelers. It's remote and cut off from the human nations. That's why I wanted to learn as much about this place as I possibly could.
Wait, you're one of those humans my father kept warning me about.
I'm sorry, but am I missing something here?
Oh, no. It's nothing. It's just that my father has always described humans as these cold, savage barbarians that know nothing but war and bloodshed. You, however, look even more friendlier than even some of the tribesmen here. Which is why I can't help but laugh at the irony.
Well, I guess I can't help but laugh either. By the way, I came here with a chaperone named Keith. Have any of you seen him?
Ah, yes. The blonde human. Yes, my attendants took him to one of our nearby villages for recovery. We'll head there first thing in the morning, but tonight we rest.
I understand. So before I forget, thank you Lady Seraphina for personally tending to me while I was asleep. You're truly a kind princess.
It's no trouble at all. I'm just curious about humans. Perhaps they're not as bad as Father made them out to be.
This marked the beginning of a forbidden unity.
Yeah, I could only imagine what would be going through my head if I was going through a dangerous sea storm, and then the next thing I wake up, I see this beautiful young, what seemed to be an elven maiden tending to me until I awakened. Now we head on over to the elven villages and see what happens.
Well, I see that you've rested up. You were out for about a day and a half. That must have been quite the sea storm you encountered.
Yes, it was. However, when I first saw you, I thought for sure I died and gone to heaven. I've never seen such a foreign beauty as yourself before. You have my utmost gratitude for saving me back there.
Stop. It was nothing. I bet you say that to every pretty face you come across. You've certainly been rehearsing your lines.
Well, you certainly can't blame a guy for trying.
Well, I apologize if I'm interrupting something. But, I see you're doing quite well, Keith. Glad to see you're doing great.
Prince Eios, it's you. What a relief. That storm did a number on our ship. I wondered what happened to you.
I'm fine. Thanks for asking. My story is about the same as yours. Unconscious for a while, then waking up to a beautiful woman tending to you. That pretty sums it up.
I see. So, the tan one with the brownish, red hair tended to you. Interesting. I wonder what they're talking about.
Thanks to tending to our new guest, while I was gone. I hope he wasn't a handful, Miss Leda.
Well, not really. He was pretty much asleep the whole time. So, it was no trouble at all. By the way, I know of that young man you brought with you. He's the son of an old friend of mine.
I'm sorry. You know of my father.
Let's just say that we have a little history and that he helped with a little issue that I had been dealing with.
That dreadful noise, where did it come from?
It's my little brother. After all this hoopla, we completely forgot that it was time to feed him.
Wait! Did you say, little brother?
Hold on, we did hear that right, didn't we? Did Seraphina just call this thing her little brother? And this dragon is getting all cozied up to Leda like that? This is... Okay, I really don't understand what's going on right now. But I'm pretty sure they'll explain it to me in the next one.